Hello and welcome. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our conversations. That's me, Ginny Jones, and Heather Ellis Drake here. And we're both going to connect each week to have conversations about all sorts of topics to do with healing and transformation and spiritual subjects and whatever really comes to mind. And it's all about play and being in the moment and just connecting and going within and allowing whatever comes to come. Isn't that right, Heather?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And first and foremost, welcome everybody who is watching this series. You know, we're going to be doing this every week. We're going to be bringing something to you all because it's all about you. So a little bit about ourselves first, Ginny. I know that many have seen us live or have experienced in our profession, so to speak. I call us the old pros, and we are renowned. I have this motto that if you've been doing something for more than 7 years, you are an old pro at it. But again, every day is learning, especially for us in the arts of healing.
Absolutely.
So I'm more of a, mass. I love people a lot. So my forte is directed into the mass healing. And whatever happens, and it's all for the people. Not one human being is left out. So I kind of turn up like we do, and we will be in this series of no expectations, just simply being present with you all and allowing all that is to come through in who we are. Ginny, and you, my darling, you, I was thinking about you this morning, you know, and thinking of that wheel and how many spokes are in a wheel. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we're all going in the same direction, no matter what modality, no matter what forte I call it, that you are. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we are all heading to the same place. And also, Ginny, you know, we use the words frequency and downloads and uplifting and energies, and there are so many words that we can use, but it's quick and fast and potent for us because of the understanding of who we are and how we work together. So I reckon that the viewers want to hear about you.
Okay, well. Oh, well, my journey, if I talk about me, really, I have been, right from a small child, been aware of energy. And when I was a child, I was frightened of it, like so many are, because I couldn't actually see with my eyes, but I sensed. And I sensed a lot, believe me. I must have got on my parents' nerves. They're telling me I didn't. But anyway, so I've always sensed energy. And yes, I've had insights throughout my life, but it wasn't actually until I moved to New Zealand that I fully stepped into who I was meant to be and why I'm here. And that is similar to Heather. I work with the collective. I'm constantly out there around the planet doing what I can do. I also work individually with people, and this is not only for healing, but this is for positive transformation. I call it, I tweak people's frequency, because some people, they're just slightly not connected. That's all it is. And all they need is to be connected again. And that's it. And then their own body takes over and all the healing and everything else takes place. So it's almost like I'm an instigator of the healing, but actually it's the own person that's healing themselves. And the same with Heather. She does the same thing. And together we've kind of come together to expand our abilities, if you like, but also expand and reach more people, because we both feel that, you know, there's a lot more people out there that perhaps aren't aware of what's going on, or not used to the unseen world, if you like. And we're here to help people, understand, to help people, to guide people, and really whatever it is. I mean, I do activations, I call them, or transmissions, but really it is tweaking someone's energy or frequency, so healing and understanding and everything else can take place. And I also am a tarot card reader, and I'm very connected to my tarot cards.
Yes.
Even sometimes when I'm doing a transformational life coach session, actually the cards come out, because me and my cards are so connected that things just flow when they're out. So yeah, that's about me, and that's about us. And you know, we hope that in the coming weeks that we will be able to help many people on their journey, just enlighten people and be a helping hand.
And what I like about you and I, Ginny, is how we work in harmony with each other. Just everything just flows gracefully. It's like we've got everything covered.
Yeah.
And so whatever you're wanting, we've got it covered. Meaning, like my profession too, I know that you're in the counselling and coaching. So we all bring a different aspect to the table that covers everything that is needed, and what another human being is needed. So I think I should just give people a little bit of my background again with regards, because I don't really speak about it. So where I come from, and we both have journeyed this journey, we are so similar, Ginny and I, in our own traumas. And when I say our own traumas, we were awoken into the ability that we are able to be present in what it is. So yes, I had a right frontal lobe aneurysm, which took me into near death, which took me into, for several years, learning to walk and talk and read and write and doing all the heavy stuff again. Yes, I was and I still am, always constantly in the presence of God. I see angels. My awareness and my perception is so precise. And we're going to touch on that topic in perception, because that's on our list, Ginny said, and I'm just love this topic. My higher perception is so pristine. Look, people have called me the great discerner, because I'm able to see right into the body and get some heavy stuff shifted within seconds. Yes, you would have seen Ginny and I in books, over the radio. I mean, I had my own radio shows, national TV, because people were wanting to do a study on near-death experiences. But when Ginny and I talked about coming together, what we knew is when 2 or 3 are working together, that is the higher perception, because of her giftings and my giftings, and allowing everything to unfold, magic happens.
Yes.
And we're not woo-woo, we're everyday people like you and I. We explore, we take things to pieces, we celebrate in our downtime and high times. But what I love about it is I always knew deep down that when 2 are gathered, more comes through. And this is how Ginny and I have collectively come together to be very present with you. So Ginny, I'm going to hand it over to you, because if you want to call it energy, my higher perception, my discernment, these are healing times when you're in the presence of Ginny and I. So welcome to a brand new series, the very beginning of the beginning of beginning, and we allow everything to unfold. This journey that Ginny and I are on together is going to bring incredible, singularly, we've got our own practices, but when we come together collectively, more is happening for you. So no matter who you are, or where you are in the world, or where you are at, We are very humble because we are two women that have walked the talk and we walk our talk. So I'm passing it over to you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, well, I just, perception is the word that popped out into my awareness this morning. And of course, perception and awareness are very similar, the same sort of thing.
Yes.
Now, I just thought that I would print off what perception means in the dictionary. And well, it really does mean what we think it means, of course. The act of faculty of perceiving or apprehending by means of the senses of the mind, cognition, understanding. Now, I can only talk about myself in how I perceive things, and when I think back on my life, I've always been this way. I always perceive things in a positive way. You know, I've had some really nasty, horrible things happen in my life, but including cancer, and even going through that and the treatment and everything, I knew my perception of it was that this was just part of my journey, and I'm going to get through it. And like everything else that's happened in my life, it's almost like setting the scene, because I know then I'm going to have people come to me who have been or going through the same thing, or have got family members going through the same thing. And because I've been there and done it, I can actually help people because I understand. But my perception of everything in life, and you know, even if you was to ask my family, my perception is positive. There's always a positive side to whatever happens. Even if it's something drastic, you know, in your life, there's always a positive. I always think to myself, okay, if something happens to me, okay, what am I to learn from this? You know, there's something positive that I can take away from this experience. And I do, I search it out and I find what it is and I pick it up and I hold on to it, and then it flows.
Yes.
And I get through it. And I'm always saying, I go with the flow, and I'm always saying to other people, just allow things to unfold naturally. We are living part of nature. Nature works in its own way. And if we push against anything, it's just putting barriers up and making it harder for ourselves. But if we relax and go with the flow and just allow things unfold naturally. And then our perception of things actually is more positive because everything has gone with a flow.
We are creative beings, aren't we?
We are. And my mental mind is, I would say, perhaps compared with some, because I've allowed it to become that, I can create lots of things from lots of things. And that's both physically, if I'm in a creative mind with making something or cooking or whatever it is, and both etherically, I can create. And it works. I've done it in my own life, and it absolutely works. And when I perceive someone else, if I'm doing a healing on someone, I perceive them, I actually see their frequency. And I can see the shape of the human body, and I can see the energy, the vibration, the frequency moving like codes of light. That's what I see.
Fractal codes.
Yes, yes.
This is because of, and again, it's because you're walking your talk. You've taken everything, all your experiences, the downtrodden, I'll call it, and you've turned it around. Yes. And you've received the blessing from everything that you touched virtually. So someone said to me, I just did a live workshop here in Hamilton on Saturday. Someone said to me, because I show people that you too can be who you are. Yes. Someone said to me, but there's only one of you, only one of you that we cannot all be like you. And I said, no, you can be you. Meaning, if we are fully balanced in all areas in our life, we have such superpowers. I think I put it on Facebook yesterday. Superpowers, our beautiful mental mind, our beautiful mind, this area here, the sacredness of who we are, is able to bring those miracles within your own life and over into another human being. So for me, because of my journey in near death, yes, we all speak to God in some way. You know, we're all heading to that essence, that God force. And how I'm able to be that because I know who I am. Within that click of a finger, that knowing from this beautiful mind and beautiful heart, you're healed. And once we have that down to a fine art of getting rid of that baggage, getting rid of those unkind lies, and really truly understanding who we are as a human being ourselves first, then we're able to perform those miracles. And Ginny, I'm so excited, like I'm buzzing. That sensation, that frequency, I call it our antenna, that excitement is, and it brings beauty in our breath to another human being. So when people say, oh, but there's only one of you and we can't all be like you, I want to say, yes, you can.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Because we've been there where you have been.
Yeah.
Right at the very beginning, we decided to choose to be in harmony with ourselves first. So we were able to go out and help other people.
Absolutely. So hit the nail on the head there, Heather. It's most important that all of us work on ourselves, and I'm constantly doing it. It never stops, you know. There's always something that I can fine tune, I'll put it that way. And I do. I'm constantly working on myself. I meditate regularly, and I sit in silence regularly, and I listen to other people's meditations regularly and things like that. And I'm constantly talking to God and getting stuff from Him, and
sharing too.
And sharing when I see someone else, and when I'm doing a healing on someone else, or a group healing, or even when I'm on Facebook writing what I write, or doing something on YouTube, when I know that that's all going to go out and reach other people, and I see those other people, and I see the essence of them, and the blessings that they've got, and they are, and what they could be. And I see this in other people, and I want other people to rise up and be who they are. And this really excites me, as you can probably tell, because now I'm tingling all over. And this is why I do what I do on Facebook, because I know it touches other people. It touches that spark within. It lights it a little bit. It knocks that soul, is opening the doorway a little bit more when people are in that flow of frequency, either picked up from Heather or myself or other people like us. We can all see that everyone can be the same as us. And they can. They do it in their own way, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I call it the osmosis effect, Ginny. You know, let's just touch on shiny balls here. For some reason, I'm just going to touch on shiny ball syndrome. I posted yesterday with regards to, I got a little bit distracted. You know, as some of you know, there's a well-awaited overdue book and ebooks and everything, but I've got them sitting there specifically for one reason. I kept getting, no, not yet. No, not yet. Everyone's putting books out. Everybody's doing their bits and pieces and contribution to the world. And of course, Ginny and I have known each other for such a long time. You know, how is it that we can be together in the world together. So we sit back with this higher perception that we've been given, and we listen to it, don't we?
Yeah.
And we'll get a yes, or a clear yes, or we'll get a clear no. Now I'm listening to myself because it's my higher perception of all that is I am that I am. And of course, yes, I'm listening to God. But because, again, of me being who I am and Ginny's being who she is, our clear no's are there and our clear yeses are there. So we can't make a mistake.
No.
So we cannot make a mistake. So yesterday for me, I was getting a little bit distracted again. Normally it would take me 3 or 4 days to get over it, to come back on track again. But again, the frequencies are very fast. I was able to be distracted for 10 seconds. No, it was actually 20 minutes this time. Looked at how I was being distracted because of what everybody else was doing. But I realized, and this is my forte, about the looping system. I came back to me.
Yeah.
I simply came back to me to be able to say, yes,
yeah,
we're just about there, but not yet. We're just about there, but not yet. Now, why is it not yet? Well, I discovered, again, as Ginny said, that we all work constantly on ourselves, is because of that perception that I was receiving. My higher perception was saying, no, not yet. You're not ready for it, meaning the others weren't ready for it. Am I making sense? Because I do not want to give you anything that you're not prepared for. I know the works that I do, and I know that you're not ready for it. So we are in a nurturing state, Ginny and I. We're presenting this series to you, and of course I speak with my hands, and yes, we got interruption with telephone, but that's perfectly fine. And of course, we're sitting at our feet. We've got puppy dogs because this is the most natural state of being.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite ready. Do you know why I'm not quite ready? It's because Ginny and I today are coming together with you, and we're going to bring something magnificent. And then there's the other flow of, if you want to call it abundance, is coming, the God force, whatever you want to call it. We're being very present with you.
Yeah.
And that was a puppy.
It's wonderful. And before we actually finally got together, whether it was God or my higher self, I'm not 100% sure, but you kept popping up in my mind. You and Heather have got work to do. You and Heather have got work to do. and I find that throughout things that I get this slow little thoughts that come in, but it's a constant thing. It's like I'll get it on and off for several weeks until I actually finally make that move. Yes. And I found, like you said, Heather, with your book, I found that it's exactly what you said. Everyone else isn't ready to receive it yet, because I've found this with myself, and sometimes with the art that I've done, especially when it's been something really abstract or very spiritual or healing painting, I've created it, and even though I've put it out there, I've known in my heart that actually it's not at the right time for everyone else to receive it just yet in that way.
Yes.
Because some people's awareness or perception isn't quite ready.
Yep.
And when the time's right, like your higher self, with whatever we do in life, actually, we'll say, right, and the gates will open and everything will just flow. Yeah. And then, the world will receive it.
I was thinking, and that's correct, because we're looking for signs, if you want to call it for signs, is this the right thing to do? If this is not the right thing to do, just please show me.
Yeah.
And I think yesterday I got another message, from Hay House, from the CEO, and it had to do with the name. So I stopped a few Facebook pages of mine yesterday because I felt that it wasn't quite correct. And what's in a name? I knew that when I was to present myself like I'm been doing, and I know with you, Virginia Jones, and we've gone down that whole track of naming, if you want to call it naming, and I didn't want to be in with what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
The reason being I didn't want to be, and the same with the healing capabilities of the presence that I am to be able to bring human beings. I couldn't be like everybody else. I can't follow the hype and the what would you call it, Ginny? That stream of what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, it's like the norm stream. You know, you and I aren't like that. We are so individual, and I'm not going to say way out there, because it's not way out there. It's actually
normality. I call it normality.
Yeah, I mean, it's normal for us. I feel exactly the same. I don't, like I said before, I don't do boxes, and I don't do rules in that respect. I allow it to flow as they come to me, and it might be something completely different when I'm doing a healing on one person than what it's going to be when I'm doing something with someone else. It's literally following that guidance.
Yes.
Immediately, in that second, in that moment. And so I know exactly what you're saying there, Heather. And I feel that for my own journey, that because I used to do Reiki healing, and I've learned all sorts of healing modalities. And the moment that I dropped the doing it that way, the moment I dropped that, everything just completely flowed for me. It just came in like a big barrage of, wow, this is amazing. Look at what I can do now. Look what that person is doing now, you know. Yeah. Now that they've had that healing session, look at them. I'm so overjoyed at what they're up to now and what they're doing.
It's this, exactly. It's this overjoy seeing people being able to rise up again.
Yes.
In a wallow of and projections, and I've always said, and it works, 80% of our illnesses and our pain and our suffering and our trauma do not belong to us.
Yeah.
Doesn't belong to us. If we can understand and people, because Ginny and I have journeyed our own personal physical ailments, it's because we understand how the etheric field works, the quantum field works, our mind, our body, our soul expression. This is how we're able to stand in front of people like we are here today, to be able to be change.
Yeah.
And to make a sacred space for people to jump into that sacred space for them to change in their unique way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Ginny and I can carry on and carry on and carry on, but this is the first introduction of meeting Ginny and I, and let's just leave them with that high perception, and let's give them a gift in the frequency of who we are in our breath, Ginny.
Yeah. Would it be okay if I just do a very, very short something for them to take away with them?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So, okay, everyone listening, I just want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine a really large pink ball above your head. And directly from source energy is a funnel of golden light with all rainbow colours in it coming into the top of that pink ball. And it's filling it up, sitting there above your head. And now as it fills up with all this beautiful love and light energy, which is directly from source, the bottom of the ball opens that's directly above your head, and the lovely frequency of energy pours out, coming into your crown chakra and absolutely filling the inside of your body as it goes down, connecting with every single cell, but especially your heart, feeling that love, feeling the light go through everything. Feel your fingertips, how they're tingling. Feel the palms of your hands, how you may feel heat or a tingling sensation. Feel this energy and frequency go down your body, reaching every single cell until it reaches your toes. And then allow it to go into the earth underneath. This exercise is filling every single cell in your body with love, with light, with a higher healing frequency. Feel it, know it, and so it is. And you can do this exercise as often as you want. It literally is healing and filling you with this lovely divine light of love. And I hope that you have the most awesome week until we meet again.
And I know as you speak, Ginny, and for all you beautiful people, next week we're going to be presenting live healing. And so anything at all, your names, your at times we don't need to know your ailments. Next week, next Thursday, Ginny and I will be very present with you all. And if you would like to write into us, look, we both are going to be putting this up on YouTube and, of course, our page that we have developed. There, if you would like to private message us next Thursday. But, of course, the healing energy from the moment that you put your name in, we begin.
Yeah, absolutely.
So virtually you don't need to wait till next Thursday. So, again, who we are as healers, we will be very present with you next Thursday. We're hoping to get this into a live stream where you can all sign in, and I'm sure we can do this because we can through this modality. But we want you to participate with us. We want you all to receive the healing energies and experience miracles.
Yeah.
Because here in New Zealand, Ginny, if I may say it, we are very humble ladies.
Yeah.
But we're seeing people rise out of their wheelchairs. We are seeing people heal from traumatic illness within moments, because we're simply being, and we're now bringing it to you. We've been working in the trenches, so to speak. I'm ever so blessed for my sister to be standing next to Ginny, and we are looking forward to seeing you next week. So get in your emails, your messages, whatever you're led to feel that you need. These Thursdays are all about you. And again, if you want a private consultation, you know you can get hold of Ginny, and you know that you can get hold of me. I'm on the road again over the next few weeks, but I will be back to you, and I know that Ginny will be back to you real quickly. Much love and blessings. Thank you for allowing us to share us with you, and I so look forward to seeing you.
And I love you all.
We'll see you very soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye for now.